Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
Be the light, choose the light. Choose to be in the light. You know, whenever I either sit down, I'm sitting at my desk running a podcast, or I'm driving in the car and I record on my phone, it's simply always, sister, what's coming up for me in the moment. What often is the message that I'm saying to you, but yet I'm also saying to myself at the same time. I don't know if I've ever shared that with you before, but yeah, you know, there's this interesting notion that we teach what not only do we teach that we know, but we go through the experiences in life that we do so that we're able to teach back these experiences and the lessons that we find inside of them. The gifts inside of the pain, the fruit after all the hard work that you put in. The light in the dark night of the soul. And what has become very, very true for me, and in people that I know as well too, and clients, that there's nothing to be afraid of our own darkness. Like, I know it's scary. I know you start to maybe discover things about yourself, or you allow yourself to really feel those deep, possibly dark emotions. Sadness, pain, loneliness, regret, resentment, fear. Really, it's just all different forms of fear. And of course, the Miracles talks about there's really just two emotions. There's fear, there's love. You cannot be in them simultaneously, so you're either in one or the other. And when you're in fear, they just take all sorts of different names and packages and how they look, but it's just all fear. But what I've come to see is that when you allow yourself to really feel that stuff as much as you can without having the stories attached to it, this is where a feeling becomes this like inferno, this like what's unfortunately as I record this podcast, what's happening in our beautiful rainforest right now in the Amazon where it's burning. It becomes this like raging inferno, right? Where it just began with a feeling or a thought or an experience or a situation or life challenge. And allowing yourself to feel the feeling, but then like you just like adding, it's like adding gasoline onto it, and you're adding more wood to the fire, and then ego is right there going, yeah, put more fire in there, like just make it big, right? And listen, this is not to downplay or somehow be, trite about a situation that you may be going through in your life right now or have gone through. That's a big thing. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that we can allow ourselves to feel those feelings and then understand that it's now our decision to move through that, right? It's not like quicksand. It's not like you allow yourself to go into the feelings like, oh, I can't get out, and you're trying to, I went to go see the new Dora the Explorer movie with my kids a couple weeks ago. Have you seen that if you've got little kids? It's like the people version of Dora the Explorer, not the cartoon, one that you may be aware of. And so there's just this one scene where they're trying to get a quicksand, and the more that they kind of struggle out of it, I don't know if this is really true or not, but the more you struggle out of it, the kind of further you get pulled into it. Whereas if you kind of relax, and in the movie at least, I have no idea if this is a true fact, but it's a good analogy right now. But what allows them to get out of it is just to lean back and to relax and let go. And then you could pull yourself out. Isn't that amazing? When we resist it and we fight it and we try not to and we kind of feel it, but then it's a controlled feeling and it's a controlled vulnerability versus, fuck. Let me just lean back and feel this stuff. Let me allow the feeling to move through me like a wave. A wave that rolls forward onto the shore and then is brought out to sea again, right? Can you like feel that where it's like shh, and then it's brought back again, shh, like that is feelings that can move through our body. And what do we often do? We attach stories about, well, I shouldn't feel this way, and this is not who I am, and this scares me, and come on, I should be done with this by now. I should stop the crying. I've done that with my kids before. If I'm feeling a little bit irritated, or they're, the way the kids are, there's a lot of drama about things that we might see as adults are not a big deal, but it's a big deal to them. And so I've caught myself in a moment where it's like, not the greatest parenting moment, but it's what is. We all go there. We all kind of make those mistakes where it's like, come on, buddy, just wipe the tears. Like, you're done now, right? What am I saying to, one of my boys is like, no, stop the feelings now, right? Now I've cleaned that stuff up with them afterwards. But like, we do the same things to ourselves. Oh, I shouldn't cry. I should stop this. Crying means I'm weak. I don't need to have help from anybody. I should figure this out by myself. I'm a smart, intelligent woman. Help? Well, that means I'm powerless. All the stuff that we attach to it. Versus allowing yourself to feel those feelings, yes, even the dark ones. And by the way, even we will just describe them as dark and light, even the light ones. Sometimes we'll get to a place where we're feeling all that joy. Have you ever had this experience? And then we go, Brene Brown talks about this foreboding joy. Like, we feel it and we're like, oh, I'm enjoying something with your children or with your husband or your partner or with family and friends, or you've had some great success at work and business and your health. And then you go, oh, it's going to go away, right? You go to a place of scarcity and think, well, it's fleeting because the other shoe is going to drop. And so either way, we can be on that spectrum. Again, we'll call them dark emotions, light emotions. And think that it's going to all go away. I'm going to have you just be open to allowing yourself to feel that stuff, and then trust that you will know when it's now. You'll get to a point where you're getting good. I teach this with my clients, where you'll get good at observing yourself in the experience, where you don't allow yourself to get overrun by the subconscious program that, ego's having a field day with, and it's just spinning out of control. But you're like, oh, I'm doing that thing again, right? And then you can choose different. And yeah, you can choose to then be in the light. You can choose the light. Darkness is not a bad place to be. To feel some deep, heavy shit, we all have wounds. Listen, we all have wounds. It doesn't matter how they're perceived, but, the child who is, molested by a parent, to the other end of the spectrum of a child that was just kind of ignored, they're all wounds. I don't mean to somehow discount to say one is lesser or worse than, or like any of that stuff. But just understand that we have all had wounds growing up as kids. We just have. I mean, maybe you're the one in the million that were raised from these like incredibly conscious like parents, but our parents were all doing our best, just like we're doing our best. We're going to screw up our kids, if you will. We're going to create some wounds in there. And it's okay to explore these places and to feel these feelings, because the only way to move through them is to move through them. You can't do the spiritual bypassing and go, ooh, yeah, I have issues with abandonment. And then I feel them. And then I go, I'm okay. And then whoop, like you go right around it. You bypass it. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. There will be some dark shit. You will go through dark night or nights of the soul. You will be tested in ways that you never thought you were going to be tested before in your life. You will even have gone through incredibly difficult experiences, and then the tidal wave one then comes up that you really didn't, that has thrown you. That has made you question everything. And I want you to know that if you're in that experience, or you feel like you're moving that experience, that the light will always be there for you. When you're ready, when you choose it. It's not going to be darkness forever. It's not. You will look back at this time and go, oh my God, I was a badass. Look what I got through. I'm sure you can reflect back on times in your life and go, wow, I did that, you know? So let's go right to more tip then about choosing the light. I want you to open up your journal. I want you to journal about an experience you went through in life that was a very difficult one, that at the time you thought was the end of the world. You thought was, maybe it could be something that happened with your health, something happened with business or career, with your children, with relationship, but something where just everything just kind of came crashing down. I don't care if you want to classify it as quote unquote big or small. It doesn't, whatever. Whatever that thing was, it was big and significant for you. So I want you to number first in this more tip journaling exercise is to identify what that thing was. And the second piece of it is I want you then to extrapolate what was the lesson that you received in that experience. Maybe it could be something again as simple as man, I am strong enough to endure. I can get through hard things. I am able to, adapt to stress well. I'm able to really master my emotions. It helped me to be more present. It helped me to find gratitude. Whatever that lesson was for you to really see we'll call it the goodness of that experience. Because we tend to go to the past and we pick apart the things that we don't like, the choices that we made that brought us to the next thing. And if I just didn't do this, it is easy. And quite honestly, that's like people heckling from the cheap seats, right? Oh, you should do it this way. Well, it's easy for you to say because you're not fucking in the game right now. No, it's easy to look back and to criticize. Don't do that. But to look back and go, man, I got through that. I can get through this. I have built my adaptability muscles, my resilience, my grace, my compassion, my love. I've done this before. I can do it again. I know it looks different. I know it's bigger this time. I can do this. And I will. And from a place of in your feminine, in that receiving, not I'm going to do this. I'm going to push it. I'm going to, no, don't do that. I know a lot of us have come from that energy. Listen to my earlier podcast. I'll talk about that. Just do the fucking work. Just get things done. Just, That's okay. If that's where you are, I honor you, sister. My experience has been, though, is that there will get a time, if you don't feel like it already, that type of energy is very much out of your alignment to use the majority of your life. There is times when you got to bring that, of course. But there's so many more times that there is a power in your feminine for you to really discover. And it's not about pushing. It's about expecting to receive. It's about allowing. It's about getting out of the way so the miracles can be delivered to you. So again, what was that situation? What is the lesson? And for you to, again, to be able to see that and go, man, I learned this from this experience. There's something in for this for me right now. I may not like it. It may be painful. But I'm going to trust in this because I know that the last thing I got through, I can get through today. And I can choose the light again. You can choose the light again. Listen, a lot of these deep things are what women who message me that want to apply to coach with me at a one-on-one level that are just, the bomb has exploded in their life in many different ways. And so, right now I've been talking about this in the podcast for the last couple of months, but my one-on-one coaching program that I offer, I've been calling it summer, but we're now towards the end of August. So, it's a 3-month program. There will be 3 spots open at any one time, and there's one open right now. And it is for women, again, where it's the bomb has gone off. It's okay, everything's just kind of crumbling down. I've tried all these things. I don't know where to go. I need to have someone in my life that can give me guidance, that isn't attached to me emotionally in some way, that can be honest and real, but also loving and compassionate, that understands the female experience and all the different roles that we play. I get it. I get it. And are ready to make a commitment. Realizing that, man, there's so much that this is really costing me right now. if there isn't change that happens, like, here's the things that will happen, and that's not okay. It is time. It is now. So if this is you and you were at that, the bomb has gone off in your life, and you would like to apply to coach with me, here's what I want you to do. Send me an email, drkarenosburn@gmail.com. So that's spelled DRKARENOSBURN@gmail.com, and simply say, Karen, I'd love to apply for that last one-on-one coaching spot, and I will send you further instructions from there. All right, sister. So I will talk to you the next episode. A life of more, it really is one step away from realizing that you can choose the light every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosburn.com/newsletter.